Ghost of Tsushima is going to get a huge gameplay reveal really soon, as early as tomorrow's PlayStation State of Play presentation that's going to hold a full-on section on just the game alone, about 18 to 20 minutes of never seen before new footage, including exploration, combat, and a ton more according to the developer right here. So some really exciting stuff, which is why I wanted to share all of this information with you guys, and also go over a few of the things that I'm anticipating from the game and the presentation, and some other cool stuff in there that you might want to know. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up on it would be super awesome, and let's jump right into it. Let's begin with the announcement, and the State of Play is going to happen tomorrow, Thursday, May 14, starting at 1 PM Pacific time or 4 PM Eastern time. Of course, this is going to be live streamed both on Twitch and YouTube on the official PlayStation channels that you can find the links for in the description down below. So definitely keep an eye out for this. I'm also going to post a converter to your time zone to know exactly when this is going to happen in your current time zone. And if you had any doubt in your mind that this isn't going to be actual gameplay, then rest assured, because Sony did indeed clarify, and this is going to be an 18-minute long uninterrupted glorious gameplay showcasing exploration, combat, and a ton more on top of that as well. This also means we're not getting any new PS5 news or updates, at least not in this episode, that even the PlayStation blog clarified, and we're likely going to have to wait up until June or closer to E3 2020 until we actually get some information about this and have Sony's presentation, or hopefully maybe even before that, going over the specifics of the new console. Nonetheless, on the exploration side, I'm definitely expecting some of the old zones that have been shown in the past to be shown again, but maybe with some upgrades here and there, including the graphics, maybe some new additions to really bring it up to par, since it's been quite a long time since we have seen a few of these in the old trailers. But I'm also expecting new zones that we haven't seen before. Maybe they're going to focus on something that they haven't shown up until now. Much of the previous footage that we had up until now had a huge emphasis on the countryside of the Tsushima island, like those huge fields with grass blowing in the wind, being very beautiful both in the nighttime as well as in the daytime. But what I really want to see more of, like more extensive gameplay and more extensive interactions, are those settlements. How are you going to interact with the NPCs inside of it? How are you going to influence their lives, if that's even going to be the case? From all accounts, it seems that is going to be possible, and Sucker Punch is putting in a ton of small little details that slowly add up to make the world of Ghost of Tsushima very believable. And I really think that there's going to be a ton of people surprised by how many details Sucker Punch has added in their game to make that world feel so alive. Something maybe even akin to how it was in Red Dead Redemption 2, that really set up a high bar on how AAA games from now on are going to make up their worlds more believable, more immersive, and way more detailed and nuanced than ever before. We had leaks in the past suggesting that NPCs in Ghost of Tsushima will react to your character depending on whichever path you choose, and I think that's gonna be extended to other areas of the game as well. Like, since you're gonna be liberating all of these towns and settlements from the Mongol invasion, what kind of influence will this have on the overall passage of time in regards to those towns and cities? How will they evolve if you choose to liberate or not liberate them? Assuming, of course, that you can choose to liberate some and not the others, or that this is a mechanic on its own outside of the main story. I'm also looking forward to seeing how these NPCs will react to you over time, depending on the interactions that you had all of those years ago, again assuming that there's going to be a significant passage of time in the overall main story. And on top of this, these interactions will most likely have a significance from a gameplay point of view as well, like unlocking new shops or new traders to have access to new items, maybe even new weapons, or, well, let's just say crafting stations, maybe even side quests with chaining narratives that will change depending on your choices. This definitely has been eluded many times in the past, with full-on areas having their own side quests, their own conflicts, and their own issues to resolve, and you're gonna be actively taking part in that or not taking part depending on your choice. I also want to see some more footage of the actual skill trees and the skills that you might invest some points into. Like, we already know that Jin has access to two types of techniques, of course the samurai path, since he is a samurai, and you will have access to that since pretty much the beginning of the game, but eventually as the story unfolds you will get access to the way of the ghost, which also is considered in the game to be be really dishonest and despicable, and yes, again, the characters might react to that in one way or another, maybe even showcase a few examples of the more powerful skills in these trees, maybe like the end abilities or something that's towards the middle to the end. I would really love to have a teaser of this as well, with a really powerful attack that might deal a ton of damage and might take enemies out in a very surprising way, since obviously there are going to be a few of these as well. It would also be awesome to see some other weapons as well. We do know that Jin has access to a number of weapons, not just the katana, which by the way apparently he can customize, so maybe a customization screen a little bit in there as well, maybe a vendor that sells or forges new katanas for you. We of course also have access to the bow, but historically speaking the samurai had access to other types of weapons as well, not just these ones. They had access to spears that should definitely change up that combat style if they also make an appearance in the game, with a way more flourish to them. They do seem very interesting, and since you're gonna be a ninja, so to speak, hybrid, you should also have access to other like one-handed weapons, maybe some claws, and even sickle and chain, which is specific for this time and is specific for this type of combat. So it would be really awesome to have like 2 of these in each of your hands and kind of go in with a more close range but also way faster types of attacks. Anyway, enough speculation, just one more day until we're gonna see all of this, so I'm also going to live stream this if you want to see it with me. We're gonna tune in tomorrow and check it out, and then also discuss some of the gameplay points and whatever other footage is gonna be shown in there. And yeah, let me know down below what is that one single feature or thing that you're expecting or would want to see in tomorrow's presentation. Let me know down below, and in the meantime, as always, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Also leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.